Welcome back to the channel. What a win for Chelsea, 2-1 against Newcastle, and honestly, that will prove to be a massive 3 points. Yes, I know Newcastle haven't been in fantastic form, but they were a tough opponent to beat today. Stamford Bridge hasn't been a fortress, but today we made it one. Reece James, the captain, returned and was asked by Maresca to lead by example. He kept Chelsea in the game today defensively. What a performance. That's my captain. Thank you, Reece. Welcome back to the team. Wow, we have missed you. Now, Cole Palmer, how many times are we going to have to think of new ways to describe this kid? He is exceptional. One of the best footballers in the Premier League right now. Jamie Carragher reckons he is the best. An exceptional performance today from him all round. A goal, a fantastic pass, probably one of the passes of the season that led to another goal for Chelsea. We looked fantastic at times going forward. And yes, defensively Chelsea struggled, but we're against a very good attacking outfit in Newcastle. They're a good attacking side. I know they've not been able to put the ball in the back of the net as much as they want, Newcastle United, but Chelsea at times have to do better defensively. But we also managed to make sure that in the second half, when we were under a bit of pressure, we made certain we were going to win that game. And I think we even had opportunities going forward to get more goals. I know we scored very quickly after half-time, which we did last week against Liverpool. And that's so great to see, because how many times last season did Pochettino slow us down after half-time, give us a team talk that obviously did not lift the players? Maresca is getting this one right. After half-time, we looked formidable. We looked refreshed. We looked ready to go, and we score so quickly with a pure moments of brilliance from Cole Palmer. And I've got to talk about the boy Nicholas Jackson again, because doubt him at your peril. This is a fantastic striker. This is a striker who I think game by game is looking more and more like the striker that Chelsea Football Club needs and deserves. This is the striker we think we can go to the transfer market and find, because we want a clinical striker. We want a guy who we can rely on to score goals. We want a guy who will fight for this team. He's doing it all right now. Did you see how many times Nicholas Jackson received the ball on the halfway line, turned his man, drove through the Newcastle defence, through the heart of their very team, and worked an opportunity for Chelsea, or laid the ball off to another player to have a moment? Time and time again, this guy's able to do that. That's why he's keeping the likes of Nkunku or João Felix out of the team as potential other strikers. That's why Mark Guy is getting sympathy minutes in the Conference League. All these people calling for other strikers to play. Why would you, when Nicholas Jackson is as clinical as this? He's not getting loads of chances, and he looks almost certain to put the ball in the back of the net at least once a game at the moment. He's a fantastic player. And like I said, doubt Nicholas Jackson for Chelsea in front of goal at your peril, because he looks phenomenal, and I genuinely believe his trajectory is going one way, up and up and up. And I said at the beginning of that is a fantastic 3 points for Chelsea, and I'm absolutely sure that come the end of the season, that's one of those results that you look back at and go, we could have drawn that game. On another day we might draw that. Nottingham Forest, Palace, we probably draw that game. That was a tough game against a tough opponent who make it incredibly difficult for us to play at times. That fight till the very end. They had chances. We saw it. We saw Isak round Sanchez. And Chelsea dug in and dug deep and showed character and desire. Yes, not the most perfect performance. A performance that at times did lack a little bit of extra quality. Did lack a little bit of getting control of that game. And at times, a couple of players I felt like weren't at their very best level. But when that's happening, you don't just go, we'll just give it away today then. No, the rest of the players dig in deep and pull those other players through. And that is what we did today. And that's how you win games. Look at Manchester City in recent weeks. Look at Liverpool last week against us. They weren't fantastic. They aren't their formidable selves. But they dug deep and they made sure they got the 3 points. And that 3 points today is so important because it moves Chelsea up to 4th in the Premier League table. A big, big win. Because had we lost that game or drawn that game, I think unnecessary pressure would have started to be applied. Now, it wouldn't have been without reason, but it's still quite early on in the season. And defensively, I think we've got some issues to address. The biggest one for me, and I'm going to get onto this, is Sanchez in goal. I just feel like every time he plays at the moment, there is an issue. Every single time Sanchez is in goal, I feel like he makes the defenders around him more nervous. I think he makes the defenders anxious of what he might do with the ball. His distribution today, woeful. At times his concentration is so far below the level required. Do you remember when Aaron Ramsdale said, if he's not on the ball or the ball isn't coming towards him for a period in the game, sometimes he just switches off? I think Sanchez might have that too. Because it's another occasion today where his kicking, like I said, wasn't good enough. He flew out of goal to press Isak running towards him, and Isak rounded him with ease. Had Isak not dwelled and taken too many touches or passed the ball, Newcastle probably would have been coming away from Stamford Bridge with a point today. So I think we have to address that. And at times defensively, look, I don't want to sit here and make it all negatives, but there's an issue. You know, defensively, there's a lot of individual mistakes in this team. As soon as the ball enters Chelsea's penalty area or defensive third, I don't feel that comfortable at the moment. And I think Maresca's got a lot of work to do there. And I don't think it's purely down to one player or someone not being good enough, because I actually think that once we just feel a bit more confident, those problems would be eradicated. I just think right now it's blips of concentration or a lack of technique when it's needed, or awareness to actually be in the right position, or constant changes in where you played. Gusto played left back last week. He played right on the right this game. You know, Tosin started the game against Liverpool. He didn't play. And on the left, Reece James plays there. When's Reece James ever played on the left side of a defence? You know, so it's players just getting familiar with where they should be. But look, let's talk about the captain, because obviously playing on the left-hand side of defence was something no one saw coming today. And he was, well, an absolute wall in the second half. 2 or 3 times, Reece James was there in massive moments for Chelsea. Massive clearances, almost off the line, or that sensing danger in the box when you're really under the cosh. He was the one that was aware to it. And he was the one that was asked before the game to lead by example. Yeah, do you know what? He gets it. Reece knows exactly what he's doing. And I actually praise Maresca because I feel like publicly he's coming out and he's pressing these players' buttons. You know, he questioned Nicholas Jackson. He questioned Madueke. He's questioned Mudryk. He's questioned Reece James. All of their performances on the back of that have only got better. And I have to say, considering Reece has never played there, I think he did an okay job. I'll be honest. I think Reece James's future does not lie on the left-hand side of Chelsea's pitch. And if it does, fair enough. And I just think when he moved back out to the right, he just looked a little bit more natural. And we all know how good Reece is going forward. But 90 minutes today, it's minutes in the bank. It's getting used to playing football again. I'll take it. And I genuinely think that Chelsea have to look at that result in the same sort of way. Yep, we'll take that one on to the next, which coincidentally happens to be Newcastle United away at St James's Park. But today at Stamford Bridge, that's a big 3 points. And sometimes you've got to win a little bit ugly. And I'm not saying that was really ugly, because our goals, they were fantastic. And actually, I have to praise Chelsea going forward again, because every time we went forward, I almost felt like we had a chance of scoring. And at times, a little bit of quality wasn't there, or at times the cross wasn't quite perfect, or the player in the box wasn't able to win their duel. But actually, we're still looking very dangerous every time we go forwards. And that's massive. Mudryk had a really big opportunity. I think a Pedro Neto beating his man a few times, delivering good crosses. Imagine if someone was just on the end of them. It's just these players learning to play with each other and being aware of what each other possess. And when that all clicks, wow. I think it's going to be a serious issue for the majority of teams in the Premier League. But look, nevertheless, Chelsea move up the Premier League table to 4th. I think we looked okay today. I think we looked good at times today. And I think there were improvements to be made today. It's one of those funny performances where not everything went right, but that's football. But the main thing is we got 3 points and my prediction was bang on. If you haven't already, make sure to smash a like on this video. We're going for 30 likes. And if you haven't watched the channel before, or you're new and you're liking the content, subscribe, because we're on the road to 3,000 subscribers before Christmas. And I'd love you to join this community. Keep the blue flag flying high. I'll be back for the next Newcastle game in a few days' time.